1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time. Gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it. Because I may not get another chance. I believe it. If I want it, I can have it. I believe it. Done with falling, done with losing. I can do it. I think I'll tell myself again. I can do it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop till I win. 'Cause it's my time to rise. Hey. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to. It's my time to soar. It's my time. It's my time. Singing. It's my time. It's my time to be. It's my time for sure. It's my time. Yeah. It's my time. She's a
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shine, where I turn my spotlight on people, topics, and subjects that are real and relevant to you. This is my time to shine as I shine with you, and I'm all about turning my spotlight on stars that I know, stars that I don't know, stars that are you, stars that are me, because I really believe that all of us are stars and we all have a star. We all shine brightly. When you look at the sky and you see all the beautiful stars in the sky, they look beautiful together. But some people just point to that one star and say, yeah, that one, but something about that one. But to me, when you look at them all lit up, and if you look at the sky and all the stars are out there, it just looks a little more shocking and powerful and pretty and beautiful when you see that. So that's why I always say we can all shine together. So on this show, we talk about it all. I talk about health, life, love, sex, relationships, careers, all of that good stuff, even pains, losses, defeats, triumphs. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't talking about living your best life and trying to celebrate life and all the experiences that come with life. Your life is a book. How many pages, chapters, beginnings, and ends are all up to you. I will get deep with you, and my guest and I will be silly. We'll have fun. We'll make this time enjoyable. I believe that life should have balance. We shouldn't lean a little bit to the left more or a little bit to the right. We should calibrate it just right. So I want to talk about love today. I can talk about a lot of things, and I have talked about a lot of things on this show, but I really want to talk about love. So this show is about loving without boundaries, and it's also about my 3 C's in love: connection, chemistry, and compatibility. So what is love? A lot of times people are like, well, what is love? I've never been in love. I've never experienced love. Could you tell me what love is? It's an intense feeling of deep affection. Love is an acted emotion, not just a feeling. Love is powerful, as you all know, if you've been in love, if you experience love, if you've seen love on TV, or you've seen love from your friends and your families. Just to experience it is a powerful thing. Everyone, however, has their own definition of love and what it is exactly. What we can all probably agree with is that love is a force of nature that truly takes over your life when you're blessed enough to experience it. So therapists say that love is a complex set of emotions, behaviors, and beliefs with strong feelings of affection, protectiveness, warmth, and respect for another person. However, many people put boundaries and roadblocks on love. And I know I did my introduction a little differently, and I'm sitting here like, did I tell you who I am? I'm so sorry. I'm a little turned around right now. My name is Kendall Anise. I am your host of Shine every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can always find me at livingtruelivingyou.com to connect with live shows and past shows. A little bit about me. I'm a transformational expert, a certified life coach, author, speaker, and so on and so on and so on. But all of those titles mean nothing. I am a human being just like you, and I want to see you all win. So I bring you this show just to educate you, to make you more aware of different subjects. Like I said earlier, to laugh with you, to talk with you, and just to show you something different by having amazing guests on the show who really have something to say, because a lot of people do a lot of talking, but if they really don't have anything to say, then are they really saying anything? But that's not the case for my guest. My guest tonight, he's been on my show quite a few times. He has a lot of great insight and views on relationships and love and all of that good stuff. Why? Because he is a relationship coach and a motivational speaker. So today, before I even go any further in this subject, I want to bring my guest out to you. So, Mr. Mike Blocker.
Hello, Kendall. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Life is good, and I'm happy.
You know what? I'm happy too, and that's really, really good. It's really, really good that you're happy, and you sound happy.
I am. I've been blessed and highly favored, like the church folks say.
So tell me why you're happy. I love to know why people are happy. Do you have a reason why you're happy, or you're just happy?
I'm just happy, and I'm happy because I chose to be happy.
It's about choices.
I've got stuff going on, stuff I'm dealing with, but in spite of that, I choose to be happy.
Right.
It truly is a choice.
Right, and I totally agree with that, and I tell my clients that all the time. It's just the difference of making the decision and making the choice, and life is truly about perspective and how we look at things and how we view our lives and our emotions and our feelings. Just like you said, you choose to be happy. Do you think that you can choose to love? And I'm talking about, guys, we're talking about romantic love here. We're talking about connections and chemistries and and compatibility with that romantic type of love. So you think that you can choose love, or you can decide that you want love, or you're in love? What do you mean?
Well, in my opinion, love, as you said, it was a force of nature. So I believe that love is greater than me, than us. If God is love, it's part of the infinite energy and that force, like that love. That's what I believe love is, and it can take you over without your consent. And have you doing things that you didn't imagine you were doing, and feeling things you can't imagine you feel. So I do believe you can't stop love, but you can, out of fear or some version of some self-preservation, you can block love from yourself. And by blocking it, then you're not choosing it. So to the degree of which you choose it, more so like how open are you to receiving it and giving it is how I see that.
Okay, so you're saying that someone can refuse love, even if love is staring at them right in their face, looking them dead in the eye, that they can refuse love. Would you say that that's somewhat of that a boundary? Like is it a boundary? Is it fear? Is it unrecognizable to them? Maybe they don't know what it is exactly. Why do you think people turn away love? Or
Well,
what appears to be love.
I believe there's only two forces in the world, and you can read in Course in Miracles, and love and fear are the only two real forces. Everything we do is out of the love or of something or fear of something. You could trace it back to that. So if you are refusing love or denying love or something to that degree, it has to be rooted in some fear. And to me, the most common way that I see that expressed is through some conversation of self-preservation, where people are disconnecting or distancing themselves because they feel like they have to, protect themselves or make sure that they get what they need, and that is where I see a lot of the boundaries get created. And I think it's always fear-based, always.
So when somebody kind of turns away love, you think it's fear of just even, is it really love, or the fear is, you know what, it might actually work, I might be in love, or the fear of getting rejected from love?
It could be all of that.
Yeah.
It could be multiple things, like sometimes people block love because they don't want to be vulnerable, to open up, to allow themselves to, be possibly hurt. Sometimes it's they don't think that they are going to be loved because they know they have whatever flaws or imperfections, or how can somebody love me when I'm so broken, and or just they're stuck in their past, or they saw what their mom experienced, or any of those fears, or they're saying, I don't want to get emotionally distracted because I got to focus on my career. I mean, we'll come up with some rationalization, but ultimately it's just you're afraid to open up and to experience that connection and vulnerability with another human being. So you set a boundary. Now, I will say this, that, I believe in unconditional love.
The only
You have
kind.
to have a boundary to not allowing somebody to abuse that unconditional love. So you can be a stand for someone and be in their corner, through, say, if they're having a drug abuse or some kind of addiction or some kind of breakdown. You can stand there and continue to love them without allowing them to abuse you. So those, to me, are like healthy boundaries, that I would, recommend someone have, but not necessarily a boundary as far as some condition or term that, you made up because of something from your past. That's a little bit different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because you're saying if you need to set boundaries in love if it's going to harm that person, whether it be physical, mental, psychological, or even spiritual. Because sometimes you have to set those boundaries. And then on the flip side, some people use those boundaries to not give themselves the okay to love. Because I truly think that a lot of people feel that they aren't worthy of love, or they don't know what love looks like, or in their head they're envisioning this type of love and then they're receiving this type of love, or from someone that they may not think should love them, but they do. You know what I mean?
I do. And, well, I agree with everything you said, and you brought something up for me. You say you like to keep it organic.
Yes.
So here's what I've noticed around people with the opposites, or another part of that, not being able to receive or feel worthy of love, is how you know that somebody has that experience, and even I have had it personally, is when I remember a time, and even I experienced it currently for a minute in this relationship that I'm in, where someone is loving someone exactly the way they want to be loved, and instead of like me just receiving it and saying, oh, this is great, my mind was saying, this can't be possible.
Right.
Can somebody really love me exactly the way I wanted to be loved? Nobody else ever did it.
Right.
So how is it that this person is capable
Right.
of doing it? And then my mind started to go into, there has to be a trick or a catch
Right.
to here, because there's no way that this can be this great.
Right.
And she said she was experiencing the same thing, my girlfriend, right? And so it got me to thinking that we as people are so, in our society here in America, I would say definitely, we're so used to not getting what we want in love that is almost an expectation, a norm. Like we tend to look for it to not work out, to look for the person to cheat, or to look, for the downside of love versus looking and honestly believing that we could receive the fantasy love. A lot of women want Prince Charming, but when he shows up, they'll spend all their time trying to prove that he's not Prince Charming.
Right.
Instead
That's
of just
true.
enjoying him, like,
Right.
oh, they can't be, or they'll, say stuff like, he's got to have other women. Why is this awesome guy so into me?
Right.
There's got to be a trick, So I think it's just really hard for us to, like you said, to really receive it, feel like we're worthy of it.
Yeah.
And that is a boundary that we set for ourselves.
Yeah.
Out of fear. It is a boundary.
And I think that, that was very well said. And I totally agree. But also on the flip side, I know that I'm worthy of love. You know what I mean? I know that, how that feels. Like it makes me smile. It makes my heart smile. It makes me happy. But you are right when you say sometimes you do question it when someone is loving you exactly how you want to be loved, or checking all the boxes per se, or saying the right things where it's coming from the heart and it's not game and it's really coming from a place of sincerity. Because men want the same type of love that women want, and they want to be on the same page. Like nobody wants to love someone more than they love them. Not to say it's going to always be 50-50. It could be 60-40. It could be 50-50 sometimes. It can fluctuate depending on, but not the love, but just maybe the emotion behind the love. Or it could be equal the entire time. But I think people talk themselves out of a good thing because it's almost like that, is this too good to be true? And that's similar to what you were saying. And not realizing. But I just want to tell our audience that everyone out there is worthy of love. Everyone out there, if you desire love, you have a right to have love. And like Mike said earlier, it's really about making the choice. Like he said, making the choice to be happy, making the choice to love. And I know someone's saying, well, Kendall, it's not easy to find love. And I get that. But I bet you've had love in your life and you weren't able to recognize it, maybe because you weren't ready, or maybe because you were doubting yourself about who you are. And a lot of people they talk themselves, like you said, out of love. So Mike, you were saying that you and your girlfriend both were like, is this real? Like, can both of us love each other like this? Can both of us be what we need for each other? And I know we did a show, Mike and I, in March, manifesting the relationship that you want. And that manifestation works. It definitely works because you're putting out there what you want. So when your girlfriend and you and your girlfriend had this conversation, what was the conclusion of the conversation, or what did you discover in that moment?
Well, first of all, it was surprising to both of us to know that we both were experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I thought that it was just me and she thought it was just her. And then when we said it, it allowed a new space to open up where we could relax a little and get that, okay, this must be kind of normal because, she's dealing with it too. In other words, I'm not the only one tripping over here. Like, this does feel that good that it's like unbelievable. Like,
right.
Wow, can it really be this good?
I know the feeling, yeah.
And then it just took time to just like accept that it is that I deserve that I manifest that. It was like, wow, everything I put on this paper showed up. Mm-hmm. And when it showed up, it's like the $1 million check showed up and you go, nah, that can't be my money.
Right.
But I know that's not for me. You sure that's for me?
Right.
It's that kind of thing. instead of just taking the money and just going straight to the airport.
Yeah.
What? So once we got over that, it allowed for a greater connection and appreciation,
right,
to happen, because we were no longer in the conversation of doubting it or trying to, debunk it.
or rewrite it.
We were like, I'm sorry?
Or rewrite it.
Yeah, trying to prove it wrong. It's like,
right.
Okay, now we can just enjoy each other because we're done with that. So it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
And another major shift that it, brought about for me is now I know that that's possible.
Yeah.
And when I know it's possible for me, I know it's possible for you and
that's
for
right.
everyone else.
That's
it's
right.
possible.
Yes. That's right. I mean, you and I talked earlier in the week about my list, and I went back to my list, my original list. So if you go back to listen to our previous show in March, Manifesting the Relationship You Want, we did a 2-parter, and I read out my list and of what I wanted manifested in my life as far as love. And then, Mike and I worked together also where I narrowed it down to the top 10 because I had a lot more. But I went back to my original list, and those things have come into my life. And it's crazy when you think about that and manifest certain things and not talk yourself out of them. Because as a life coach, Mike does this too. I do this also with clients who are seeking love and who want to find love and talking about manifesting love. And people are writing things down, but they're not really believing what they're writing because they're like, it's no man like this. It's no woman like this. I'm going to write it anyway, just because it's my wildest imagination, but it's not going to happen. And I want to tell everyone out there, if you think it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. If you believe in what you want and believe that you deserve what you want, you can get that. You truly can get that. I remember, Mike, when you met your girlfriend and you were happy.
Right. and I manifested it.
You did. So let's talk a little bit about manifesting the relationship. I know we did a whole show on that, but since we're talking about it now, can you briefly tell the audience what manifesting a relationship means? And we talked a little bit about it just now, but if you can briefly just let them know what that means.
Well, in short, for me, it means that you make a declaration of what it is that you want, and you write it down, and you read it to yourself on a regular basis, and you believe that you're going to receive whatever you wrote on that paper. And once you believe it, you begin to look for it, and you will see it. It's just that simple. Yeah.
And you will even get it even if you forgot that you were looking for it. If that's something that you really believed and that's something that you're reading off your paper, and then someone comes into your life, you might not even realize they have those qualities that you have on the list. And I know, Mike, you experienced that as well. I know I did too. You experienced that, and then you looked at your list, and then you saw that your girlfriend had a lot of the things on the list, correct?
Yes. Darren Hardy, I stole this quote. He said, whatever you believe, you will look for, or whatever you look for, you will see. And it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. So believe that you are going to manifest the love of your life, and then look for it.
That's right. That's right. And really look for it. Not like on a hunt, walking down the street with a flashlight, physically looking for them. But just even being open to receive it and putting yourself in environments where you may be able to meet someone, or be open if somebody connects you with someone, or be open enough to say hello to someone in the grocery store, whatever it is. If you're saying that you want love, but yet you're not actively trying to pursue it. And I'm not saying, like I said, go out there with a flashlight, hunting love down. I'm not saying that. But if that's what you got to do, if that's part of your process, then you got to do it. Because you can't say that you want something and then sit back without taking action.
I agree with you there, Kendall. And I have to add this because one of the things that I was doing that was limiting my love, and that I see a lot of others doing, is we are waiting for the other person to manifest it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. We say, when this shows up over there, then I'm going to be X when Y shows up. And I mentioned this on the other program, like when I'm coaching people or talking to people and asking people about what they want, it is rare that I ever hear people say that they want to be in love because they want to give love to the other person.
Wow.
It's always them speaking from, I want this.
That's so true.
That, I want somebody that, I want this. And you rarely hear say, I want to give love to somebody. I want to make somebody else feel special. So most of us believe that the love that we want is going to come in some form of someone doing or giving something to us, when it's actually the opposite.
Yeah.
Love is the verb. It's an action. It's
That's
not
right.
you just sitting back, with the do me. It's you doing something. So to the other person. So I believe that if more people had that as a context, then they would experience more love in their lives. Just from, because when you're giving it, you're the source of it.
Right. Right. And just like the word says, if you want friends, you have to show yourself friendly. So if you want something, you have to get it. I mean, I did a few shows back. I did a show with Daryl Messiah Lee, and we were talking about the power of prayer. So if you have a prayer life and you believe in prayer, pray about it, write it down, seek it, do a vision board, write down the attributes you want in a man or a woman, write down the characteristics. And like Mike said, you got to really seek it and you got to open yourself up to it. And don't just focus, like he said, on you receiving. Focus on you giving love, because if you give love, you will eventually receive love. And that's a key point right there that you added. So thank you. So I have 3 C's in love, as I stated earlier: connection, compatibility, and chemistry. And not in any particular order. So let's talk about some of those C's. Do you believe that, people can have a certain chemistry? Do you believe that people can immediately connect to one another? Do you believe in just the spirit of connection and all of the above? Do you believe in those things? And what are the difference in some of those things? Are they all the same?
Well, that is a good question. I guess one that I never really thought of, but I do believe in, you said chemistry, compatibility, and
connection. Mm-hmm.
Well, I would guess there's some overlap.
Yes.
In each one of them. Chemistry is definitely some form of connection, and compatibility will generate that.
Yep.
But I would say that they are different in some ways for me. So I would say that connection is sort of like chemistry, and it's like the energy, the connectedness that you just feel with someone. So those are closer to me than the other one,
mm-hmm.
than the compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I think compatibility does have a little more to do with the characteristics of a person.
Yes.
The like in compatibility, I think of emotional compatibility. I think of like physical compatibility. I guess intellectual compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
I think of those things. So,
yeah.
That's a little different than just a connection.
Yeah.
You can have a connection and not be compatible.
Yes, exactly.
And I've experienced that. So I think and they are important, particularly if you're looking for a long-term relationship. And compatibility is very important.
Yes,
and
I agree.
I believe that to some degree the chemistry is, but I think if the compatibility is there, if you're compatible enough, you can create or generate connection.
Oh.
the chemistry. You can do it if you're compatible. Because over time, you're spending time. Say you and this person have 3 things in common you love to do, and you're doing those things together. You're going to develop some chemistry with that person. It's kind of like taking a dance lesson with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I danced with you for 2-3 years. You're going to have some chemistry that wasn't there
Right.
before we started dancing together. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah.
But we had to have the compatibility to even like dancing to even get that chemistry. So that's my kind of take on that. I don't know if that exact answer you were looking for, but that's how I would define that. And I think they all are important in their own right, and that when those things aren't present, it's still possible to have something, but it might not just be to the same degree. Because love is that powerful that you can find yourself falling in love with somebody that you're really not compatible with.
Right, that's very true.
I love this person. Like, how did this happen,
Right. But it's funny that you said that, because and it's no right or wrong answer. So I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I was really just looking for your view, which you gave, which was excellent. And you made me think about something, because when I think about compatibility, I don't necessarily think about connection and chemistry. So when I think about compatibility, I think about, do you have some of the same common goals, or is your agenda the same? Do we like to do some of the same things? Are we compatible as far as who we are as people? And that's not the same as connection for me. Like, connection to me is more spiritual. It's more effortless. It's easy. Like, you meet people and sometimes you just connect to them. And although you can be compatible with someone, meaning you love some of the same things, you both like seafood, you both like plays and walks in the park and boats, and you both like to go to bed at a certain time, or you like this restaurant, and you're compatible enough to enjoy time and spend time, meaning that you like some of the same things. But it's not necessarily that connection where you can think what he or she is thinking before they think it, or you feel they hurt themselves and you feel it, or it's a longing to kind of be with that person or talk to that person, because there's kind of like a soul connection. You know what I mean? So I look at those differently, and I'm sure, like, our audience, they might look at them like the way you do or I do, or they might have their own view. And then when I look at chemistry, that to me is similar to connection, because it's that vibe, it's that energy, it's something that's drawing you to me and me to you, that type of thing. So that's what I think about when I think about chemistry and connection, and then compatibility, because you can be just compatible and just spending time. And like you said, if you go to a dance class, then it is a possibility that you might connect. But then it might be a possibility where you just like doing the same things, and then after a while, it's like, okay.
Right. People can kind of grow on you.
Right, that's true.
Grow apart.
But so does mold. I don't want nobody to grow on me. Right. I know it's something about me, and you tell me how you feel about this. With me, I don't know. To me, when it's something easy and it's just a connection, to me, that's a lot better than spending 8 years with somebody and you're waiting for them to grow on you.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a little less long engagement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily advise that.
Me neither.
I believe that almost anything is possible.
Yes, that's true.
And with the power of love behind whatever it is you desire or want, it's possible.
That's true.
Really, truly coming from the power of love, because, I'm not the most, religious man, but,
right.
I do believe in the higher power. So for the sake of it, let's say God is love. And God can do anything, right?
That's right.
So,
That's true.
So if God is all love, then that means love can do anything. Love can create anything,
Yeah, and love can find itself anywhere. Yeah, through anybody. Yeah.
That, there's a reason why the majority of music is about love.
Yes, love music. So
all of it is really.
So Mike, why that's so true. So Mike, like I was watching, OWN has a great new show about Mara Brocka-Kill and Salima Kill. She created Girlfriends. They did Girlfriends together, The Game, Black Lightning. What else? The Game, Black Lightning, and something else that I'm missing. But anyway, they have a new show called Love Is. So it's love is, and then you fill in the blank, whatever love is to you. So it's about, they've been married 20 years. She's a writer, director. He's a director, writer. And they kind of got together in such an organic, beautiful way. And how I know that is because that's what love is. Love is loosely based on their falling in love. And they've only had 2 episodes so far. It comes on Tuesday nights on OWN. And I find myself falling in love with them, but it's not me. You get what I'm saying? So it's right. Something in people that everybody loves a good love story. I love to watch people fall in love, whether it's people that I know and I've seen when they met and got together and how it works, whether it's myself, watch myself fall in love, or even people on TV. So it makes it more sweeter to me when I look at it and know that that's really their love story. Why do you think people are so fascinated with love and wanting love and desiring love and wanting to see love?
Good question. I think our fascination or obsession or addiction or whatever it is to love is because that is what we are in our true nature and sense. Our original, from when we come out of the womb, we are pure love.
Yeah.
In that moment, like pure, like zero. I don't know what I'm saying about the frequencies. The frequency of zero is in some, they say get back to nothing. That means like get back to zero. And God is zero, infinite is zero. And I think that is where love is.
Yes.
It's when you remove everything negative, anything bad, what you're left with is love. And I think that's what children are in their pure sense. That's why everybody loves the baby. Because the baby is not but love. It's just nothing else there. And I think that's where that comes from. I got a quick story. I was at the airport the other day, and I'm sitting there at baggage claim waiting for my bags. And I see this little kid who was probably between 2 and 3 because he was speaking, but it was broken words. Like he said, "Mama, oh baby, mama, baby." He was speaking like that, and he was pointing at another baby. And this little kid was, I don't know. He looked something Latino, Middle Eastern, whatever. He was, he had a fair mid kind of skin tone, curly hair, and then the other little baby was, a little, not that it matters, but just a little, blonde and blue-eyed baby, right? And so the blonde child was sitting there, like staring at the little, whatever, Indian kid or whatever, as she was pointing, and he was saying, "Mama, baby," right? And we had all just gotten off planes. And then he looked at him, they made eye connection, and the blonde kid just stared at him. He walked over to him, the curly-haired, dark-haired kid, and he just gave him a hug.
Oh, yeah.
And then he walked away.
Because it's pure.
He did that, pure. Everybody watching with,
yeah.
I got emotional, I almost cried.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, like that was just, he just went up to this strange kid and just gave him a hug for no reason at all, right? And then I thought, if an adult did that, they could be arrested.
Yeah, how about that?
For that same, right? So somehow we lost that innocence, that pure love.
Yeah.
And I think we have all this music and movies and books about it because we want to ultimately get back to that.
Yeah. We
want so much to be that again, but yet society and our past has told us that we have to, be some other way, protect ourselves, preserve serve ourselves, or, don't, whatever, kill love on somebody else's personal space. Whatever the story is, I believe we love it. We love love, and we want it more than we want anything else, and it's the thing we're most afraid of.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
That's what I think.
And that was well said. And that was a good, yeah, I that would have probably touched my heart too if I saw that, because kids are not taught hate. Kids are coming out pure and loving and just loving one another in spite of anything and everything that they are, talking about boundaries and differences and different things like that. And a lot of people think the opposite of love is hate, but it's indifference. I often talk about falling in love, but I like to really say, when I'm having conversations with people, is growing in love. And I think that's so much more powerful, because you're growing together as one. You're finding out what someone likes, what they don't like, what you like together, what you want to build together. And I think every relationship should have a mission statement. Like, what do we want to gain from this love? What do we want to do with this love? How do we want to share this love and everything that comes with it with the world, And I think a lot of people fall in love. They're not thinking about the mission of love, because they're in that honeymoon stage, which is amazing. But in order to keep that kind of honeymoon stage, when the love loses its shine a little bit, I think that's where the growing in love, not grow to love someone or let them grow on you, but just growing together in love with communication and with honesty and with sincerity and purity, like a child. So, Mike, I'm going to put you on the hot seat, brother. Tell me what it's like for you to experience love. How does that make you feel? And on the heels of the show, love is what to you? So that's kind of a two-parter, but one and the same.
So real quick, I'm gonna answer that, and I want to say back to the two kids at the airport.
Oh, and we're running out of time. I'm looking at the clock. We got 2 minutes left. Wow, that went through. I'm sorry.
I experienced love when I saw those two little kids.
Oh, wow.
Like, it touched me. Like, it made me, like, my eyes welled up a little bit.
Wow.
Right? And every time I feel love, when I feel that feeling, it's something in my solar plexus. I get this warm chill, and it spreads through my body. And there's no word to describe it. It feels really good.
Wow. Wow.
And I've experienced it in many different ways. I've experienced it at church. I've experienced it from family members. I've experienced it with somebody in class. I've experienced that love in so many different forms. But it's that connection, that vulnerable connection to another human being.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. That's my definition. Or as I've used once before, I said love is the desire to benefit others at one's expense.
Wow.
That's the ultimate form of love, when you're willing to sacrifice yourself so that someone else, benefits. That's what Martin Luther King did, Jesus did. Like, that's why these men are so revered, because they were able to demonstrate the ultimate form of love.
Wow. And I think that was a perfect way to end it. I mean, that was perfect. That was perfect. So we have a few seconds left. Just tell the people how they can get in contact with you in about 10 seconds.
MikeBlockerSpeaks.com is my blog, and I'm on Facebook as Mike Blocker, and we'll start there.
Wonderful. Mike, thank you. And thank you so much. You're going to come back?
I am. We got so many more things to talk about. I want to hold you to that once a month. Get me on if we can do that.
Yes,
I'm ready to turn it up a notch.
Okay, July, Mike will be back. You heard it here. We're going to we're going to have him here once a month. But thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for everyone for tuning in to Shine. You can find me on all social media platforms at Kendall Lanice or K Lanice. You can also visit livingtruelivingyou.com or ladymotivator.com. No need to dim anyone else's light. We can all shine together. Again, this is Kendall Lanice. Until next time, peace, love, and light. God bless.